Hello, my tubies. It's good to be back with you again. It's Sheila True Love. And I just want to tell you, I went out dancing and I did karaoke. I love karaoke. You know, one time I went out to karaoke and I dressed up like Diana Ross. And I had to get up there, honey, and I had to do my thing. Anyway, you see my new look. Take a look. What do you think? Fabulous, fabulous. That's what I'm telling you when it comes to these narcissists. You cannot let them stop you from living, honey. You have got to get on with your life. Get yourself all dialed up. It's time for us to go out there on the road. Get your girls. Like I said, you know, before women sit around here trying to get a man, they need to make sure that they have 3 female friends in place first. I don't know if you guys have ever seen the Golden Girls. You see how the Golden Girls, they live together. They got the sisterhood. So if anything rotten goes down, they have each other to rely on. And once they have had that established, then they go out there to hang out with the guys, the fellas. Women should always focus on these friendships first. I think that's a wise thing to do. Anyway, honey, I had a fabulous time. I told you that I'm hanging out with 3 different people that I'm dating, if you want to call it dating. I had that one who asked me to marry him after 7 weeks. I was like, oh, narcissist. So I had to put him in the friend zone, you know, because he was working way too fast for me. Of course, he's still hanging out with me thinking he's going to convince me to see things his way, and that's still not going to happen. You know, I'm a girl who's single and satisfied. I'm having way too much fun right now. And I thank God for that Meetup app. You go on your Play Store, you download that Meetup, honey, you never have to be alone again in your life. Anyway, let's get on with it. We're on divorce court right now. This is a crackhead. Okay? And God knows this crackhead is the most narcissistic thing you've ever encountered. Let's listen in.
When Sarah and Charles married 13 years ago, that 5 years into their marriage, they would be separated. Now, after an 8-year separation, both finally are ready to sign on the dotted line.
He was doing crack, rock, crack, cocaine, whatever he can get his hands on.
Nobody can talk to her. All that anger in her, that had to come before my time.
And tomorrow, the woman who Sarah says came between her and her husband takes the stand and sparks fly.
She hates the fact that I'm with her husband.
That she thought was going to come back.
He was at my house, okay? He was coming to my house. He was having sex with...
How sick is this? We got the crack-headed broad that her husband is a crackhead. The wife, okay, let's create the scenario here. The wife is here. She's in court. She's going for this divorce, whatever the hell. Personally, I think the wife is a nut job along with the crack-headed hoe, Miss Walking Chlamydia, Miss Trichomonas, Miss HPV. Yeah, she's talking about she's mad because I'm laying up with her husband. Hello? What? Her brain is fried, honey, from the crack. She feels that people should not be upset because I'm laying up with your husband. Not just my man, my side piece. Oh, no, this is my husband. Anyway, I think the wife is a nut job because why the hell did you put up with this for so long? Well, actually, I can't judge. You know what I'm saying? Because I'm just tired of women putting up with this craziness. Don't they get it? This is the reason why you can't find decent men today. Stop putting up with it. Let's listen, girls.
Sex with me.
All this and more on this explosive 2-part session of Divorce Court.
All rise.
All rise.
Today, she is Ms. Vanessa Mitchum.
Yes, ma'am.
Ms. Mitchum, good day to you, and I'm sure we will be hearing from you in a little while. You finally want to end this relationship, get divorced, because you've been separated 8 years. Enough is enough. You have some financial matters that you would like me to resolve for you at this time. However, before we do that, I'm going to start with Mrs. Colvin. Why don't you tell me a little bit about your marriage and why you're here in divorce court today?
When I first met Charles, Charles was nice. Charles had character. Charles had style. When I married Charles, Charles became the nightmare. Drugs became more important than family. Drugs became more important than me. And that trick rabbit squirrel over there also.
Well, now, okay.
You heard what she called her? That trick rabbit squirrel. And can I identify with her when she says drugs became more important than me? Of course, that's what happens with crackheads. All they care about is the drug. And if you're not down with smoking that drug, they're not down with you. They will sit there and spend all their money on some freaking thought, some crackhead, some prostitute. They'll spend thousands on those hoes. When it comes to taking care of their wife, their family, their household, I'm broke. No, you got a job. How come you? You know, it's disgusting. Let's go on.
Now, we're not going to name call. When did he start using?
I think he was using before we got married.
But you didn't know.
Yes.
Mr. Colvin, were you using before you got married?
Yes, I was doing marijuana.
Uh-huh.
Yes.
And did it progress to other things?
Yes. Yes, it did.
Okay. Did those other things start to consume your life?
No, debt started to consume my life.
That. I'm not a dad. I'm a queen. Do you understand?
Well, so Ms. Colvin, why don't...
Of course, you know she's an ebony woman because she knows what's up, what's up, what's up. She says she didn't know in the beginning that he was drug using, and I know that's true. That's a possibility. That's believable. Because I remember my narcissist, he said he was with some broad, and he didn't know that she was using crack, you know. But later on down the road, eventually he found out, just like this Miss Trickamonis that he's dealing with now, she's a crackhead. Because if she wasn't no drug addict, she wouldn't be dealing with him. Her face is probably... How are you going to deal with to pick up some man whose face is all sunken in, walking around looking like a crackhead, dirty and nasty, and you're supposed to be a decent female, but you're going to pick up something like that? When I met him, he wasn't looking nothing like what he looks like now. Nothing like that. So this broad that he's dealing with, I promise you, he's going to find out down the road. Yep. Oh, yeah. Junkie. She's either on opiates, heroin, crack, or crystal meth. Believe that.
Why don't you explain to me the extent to which the drug use became a part of your existence, and then tell me what other matters continued to tear at the marriage until you had to separate?
Since he says that I'm a nightmare, when he got his income tax check, you remember the crack party you threw at the hotel? Remember getting busted there? Didn't give me no money?
You didn't deserve
Remember
it.
you called me to get...
Sound just like my ex, honey. He didn't. I don't know if he threw a crack party, but when he got his income tax check, or whenever he get his paycheck, or his SSI check, XSD for mental patients. Anybody who gets their check on the 3rd of the month is a mental disorder they have. People who get their check on the 1st, those are just people who are disabled. You know, like they was in the war or they had something, whatever. But if they get it on the 3rd, I realize I didn't know this, but I know now they have mental disorders. There's something wrong with them. Yeah, he gets his income tax check. You think that he sat up there and gave me, he owes me $650. You think he paid me? He went and had himself a crack party. And you have to see this guy on here. Bald-headed, big old gap in his teeth. He's disgusting. You look at his shoulders and his body, he's disgusting. It's pitiful.
me to get you out?
That's what you're supposed to do.
Okay, Ms. Colvin, I know you hot and you got a reason to be out, but he was doing crack?
He was doing crack, rock, crack, cocaine, whatever he can get his hands on. They busted him down at the hotel, and when they took him to jail, I went down there with a friend. She told me don't go up in there. I went on up in the hotel. Bed messed up and stuff, went in the bathroom. There's a condom up in the trash being used. He probably was using it on that trick.
Mr. Colvin, was all that going on in your life for a moment there?
Oh my God!
No, not really like she said. You know, I did get a case from a motel room.
And I got a case. It's so funny. You use the passive voice, and then I got a case like it's like I caught a cold. It wasn't really my fault. It just happened to me.
I want you to focus and listen on how crackheads, narcissistic crackheads talk. Listen how they rationalize things. Listen to how they justify things. This is what crack does. It fries up your brain. You know, this guy's brain is so fried, he can never see the wrong that he has done. He can never see it. I want you to experience this with me. Crackhead narcissist.
Mr. Colvin, did you end up going to jail as a function of that?
Yes.
Okay. Now, Ms. Cole, what you also say, obviously, that he was unfaithful to you. Why don't you tell me about when that started and how you found out?
But that's not the only drug case I've been through with him.
Oh, you want to tell me another?
Yes,
Please
I do.
go right ahead. I'm so sorry.
We went to a family reunion in Alabama. Remember that? Came back to Kansas, told me to go to sleep because you was tired of driving.
And what happened?
We ended up in Mexico. Going through Texas, he took a wrong turn. So I wake up and I'm raised up like this, looking, there's little Mexican kids, the music is all in Spanish. And, you know, I'm like, you know, where the hell are we at? You know? When you go in.
Everybody's cracking up. Even the judge has got to laugh herself sick. We're supposed to be going one place, and when we end up in Mexico? Is really? Because you took a wrong. Oh God, this is crazy. I told you that crack will fry your brain, honey.
Go in, you can go in, but when you come out, there's that gate, that border patrol there.
Right.
And then he gonna holler, I need you to calm down, because I got drugs up under the seat. Okay, he could have sent me to prison, but I'm the not.
Check that out. He's sitting up here, he got drugs in the car, all up under the seat. If the cops stop, he's a black man, by the way. Oh yeah, black man. And you know, cops are always stopping black men. Black boys. He's a black boy. He ain't no man. He's a black boy. Cops are always stopping them. You got drugs all up under the seat. You're jeopardizing my freedom because you know you're guilty by association. Cops are going to try to hear that you didn't know that this was in the car. Officer, I had no idea. I really didn't. No, guilty by association. So you see how crackheads are? These narcissistic crackheads? They don't care about you. They don't care about what may happen to you. They're nut jobs. It's sad.
The nightmare though. Check
You
yourself,
had
brother.
her going to another state. She goes to sleep, and you go to make a drug run in Mexico?
No, we took a wrong turn. Besides that, because I've never made that route before, she had and she was asleep and I just went wrong.
But when you get to Mexico, they got the little gate and the people, you didn't notice that you were going through into another country? You didn't see that?
The way we went, there was no gate. It just on the way back.
Oh.
I just made a turnaround when all the music got different, and that's when I woke her up.
When the music got different, he realized he was in Mexico. This is unbelievable. It's lovable. It's gaggable.
You didn't wake me up when no music got different. Don't sit there and tell that lie.
And the reason I was driving is because she had pink eye and couldn't drive because her eyes had matted together.
Okay.
So that's why.
Excuse me.
But still, with these drugs
I
under
didn't
the
have
seat.
pink eye.
Come on.
So, if you now,
I didn't have no pink eye.
if I can work with you, Mr. Colvin, you make a wrong turn, you end up in Mexico.
Right.
Okay, that could happen to anybody. You know. But why did you have drugs in the car when
There
you
was
came
no
back?
drugs in this car.
You didn't tell her not
No,
to
I
act
did
up
not
because
tell
you had
her no
drugs under the seat?
there.
You are
I would
lying.
not
We got the
travel
order.
that far with some drug under my seat like that.
When divorce court continues, what did Charles do that caused...
Colvin, tell me another event.
Another event where he threatened my life. Charles gets around here. He gets money from guys. And he's supposed to bring him some drugs back, some dope, right? He don't bring the dope back. And then they go up to my sister and ask her where we live at. And she said, I'm not telling you where she live at because I live there. Them guys was mad and they wanted their money back. But see...
So you see how he even jeopardized her life? Because that's one thing you don't do is you don't play with these drug dealers, honey. Because they want their money. And if you don't give them their money, they'll kill you. They'll kill your family. They don't give a flying dog biscuits, if you will. He didn't even care about jeopardizing other people's life. Definitely. Okay. Red flag. Narcissist.
But see, he kept their money and told them that you was going to go and get them some dope because you took their money and smoked it in crack. Okay? Remember that?
Nope, I'm afraid
Yeah,
I
you
don't remember that.
Mr. Colvin, could that have happened?
He has a drug problem.
No, that
The
could
whole
never
problem,
happen.
and I marriage, it's been about the crack. The drugs come before his kids. The drug came for his wife. The drug came for his job. He couldn't even go to work on construction. You got these little blue outhouses you use.
Right.
He in there getting hot. He got the crack pipe.
So she in the bathroom.
He even lost his job. The only reason why my ex-narc didn't lose his job is because he drives for, which is horrible. He's driving these people around, you know, a medical cab. So you have to go to one location, but then you don't have to go to another place for like hours. So he gets to sleep in the car. That's the only reason why he hasn't lost his job, because it's an easy job. You're sitting on your ass all day. You ain't really doing much of nothing, not really, except for picking somebody up from their place, taking them to their their doctor's appointment. And then you got to wait for like an hour, 2 hours to pick them up or whatever, so he gets to sleep inside the car. That's the only reason why he still has this job. Really? And then you think about he's driving people around, other people's lives are in his hand. He's cracked out of his freaking mind, zipping and ripping down the street. I mean, would you want a crackhead or somebody strung out on crack driving you to your doctor's appointments? I mean, it's crazy.
Bathroom with me at work to see this.
Did you ever have any circumstance where he was at home using or
No, he
arrested at home? Or
See, that's the problem. I'm not that type of lady. See, I got class about myself. But see, that over there, that trick, they do it together. She's a crackhead too.
Well, didn't the police burst into your house at one point?
Oh, yes, they did.
Tell me about that.
The police came, they knocked at the door. Boom, boom, boom. It's 9-something in the morning. 3-something in the morning. I said, Charles, somebody's at the door. He goes to the door. And they said, we got a search warrant. We need to search the house. He holding up against the door, all these drug task force, and they pushes the door in. They go up in here searching up in the kitchen. I'm short. He taller than me. He got dope all up in the top of the cabinets up there. They pulling out. They pulling my flour out and stuff. They in an unmarked car. They take us down to the jail. They handcuffed me. Handcuffed me to a table for 2 hours.
That's because
You
of
remember
the
that?
joint you had
You
that they
remember
got
that?
off you.
You know the reason why, Taz.
Can you imagine this? Them putting you in jail, handcuffing you, they come into your home, you know doggone well that you don't have a clue what's going on with no crack nonsense, whatever. This is why you cannot be dealing with these narcissistic crackheads, drug addicts, heroin addicts, crystal meth, opiates. Oh, hell no. Even people who are smoking dope, marijuana, yeah, they call it dope. Okay? When you look at those pamphlets and they're talking about drugs, and you look at the different names that they call different drugs, under marijuana, it says dope. You smoke dope. Why you a dope? You got to be a dope to be smoking this. I don't care what people say. Marijuana, and I know there's a lot of people going to be in my channel. They ain't supporting all of this. They smoke marijuana, but I don't care. Common sense will tell you. Your lungs, your body is not a chimney. You're not a chimney, honey. So ingesting smoke inside your body is being filled with smoke. You look at when you put that stuff in a pipe and you see all that black residue, all that black stuff on the side, all of that stuff is going inside your lungs. How on earth can you actually really believe that this is not doing any damage to your body and to your brain? Really? Like I said, I am a very unique female. And I know this. I am special, and I definitely stand out from other women because I have common sense. Common sense is going to tell you smoking marijuana, ingesting smoke in your body, and you're not a chimney, and all this black residue, this tar stuff that's sticking to the pipe. I mean, can you imagine what that's doing to your body? I see why they call it dope, because you got to be a dope to be smoking this crap. It's nut jobs, man. Look, if you want to escape and you need to mellow out or whatever, what did God tell you? What did Jesus tell you? A little wine helps make the heart rejoice. Alcohol. Now you got people out here, of course they alcohol. This is what these marijuana people, their argument is, well, you have more accidents, you have more things going wrong with alcohol. What did the Bible say though? It says a little. Let me say that word again. A little wine helps what? God ain't never wrong. He created our body. He designed us. A little wine helps to make the heart rejoice. So you go out there and get yourself a little drink. You get yourself 2 or 3 drinks. You know what I'm saying? Time yourself. That's all you need. God said that's all you need. God knows that this world is going to get crazy and beyond itself. He knows that we're going to have a little something to help us get through all this stuff. Have a little drink, honey. Really. Leave them drugs alone. You sit up here listening to this along with me. This is what drugs do. It eats away your brain cells, man. I've had 3 people at my job already. 3 died. And they was weed smokers, and one of them smoked cigarettes. They were all weed smokers, man. Cancer. Mm-hmm.
Task force don't break down your door or joint. They were looking for the other. He was
looking, but they only found a joint. She was sitting there smoking.
So you're telling me that the task force had bad information?
Yeah.
And they.
So now we see the truth when it comes to her. She was a drug addict too. She smoked bud, weed, Mary Jane, dope. So she can't really say much about this guy, even though crack is crazy, because that's crazy, man. You spend every goddamn thing you got in you have in your bank account. But weed or dope or Mary Jane, bud, you get a little bit more control over it, you know. Even though when you go on YouTube, type in why I stopped smoking weed and listen to what those people have to say. They were going broke. They were going broke. And not to mention the health issues. Just type it up. Check it out for yourself. Why I stopped smoking marijuana. Type it up on YouTube.
And they kicked down your door by accident because you weren't using.
No, I didn't.
And the reason that you two both went to jail is because she had a joint. This is what you're telling me.
And she was released. Yes, they came looking for some, but there was
none. Were you
there.
Released?
Yes.
Your Honor,
no, because there was nothing there.
You know what? The table is cemented to the floor.
Right.
And I got ridges up in my hand because those cuffs were so tight on me. And the other police officer said, why don't you let her loose? He said, no. He handcuffs me down here to this thing, okay? They in there talking to you. And you know what they was talking about.
Yeah.
And if you didn't get caught with nothing, what you run to Alabama for, Charles? You let folks run out of here. Then I get a phone call.
I took my son
then
back
I get
away
a
from
phone
around
your
here.
life. And yes, ma'am. He said he would love me always. He would always love me. He would always be there for me. He ain't been there for me. He been there for everybody else like a dog in heat. And
I went through the same thing, honey. But you know what? The difference between her and me is I put an end to this nonsense. You're not going to sit up here and treat me poorly. And I'm going to sit around. No. Every time you looked up, I was kicking that clown out. And when I took him back, like I said, if he didn't have disabilities, I'd have been done with that circus clown 90 days. I would have been done. I kept getting pulled back in because of his disabilities. Anyway, this is part 1. We're going to do Crackhead Narcissist part 2, honey. Stay with me. You always have a choice. I love you, and I am just... We'll talk again, darling. Until next time, bye for now. Part 2. Hang with me.